Hi, it's Rachel with Stirring the Deep. Again, this is to those who have really been seeking truth. It is, again, some verses coming out of Zechariah. And it's in the instructions to us. So as you're, in the previous video, I was talking about going through this purging and this purification process because as Christ's Spirit comes, that's what it does, because it's light and it's truth and it's righteousness. And so nothing of darkness can be a part of you as you're filled with His Spirit. Thus, it's being purged. And people that have been seeking truth are going through this great purging. And again, the big things have been kind of cast out of your life. But this is like shaking the dust off your feet. It is, you've already been cleansed by the word that He's spoken to you, but now it's time to wash your feet. It's time to get rid of all those little things, those little lies that are causing bondage in your life, so that you can be filled with the fullness of who God is, the fullness of Christ, the fullness of His truth, right? So for that to happen, you can't have any darkness. Okay, so in Zechariah, these are the instructions about what God desires of us, okay? In Zechariah 8:16 through 17, it says, "These are the things you shall do. Speak each man the truth to his neighbor. No hypocrisy, no lies, and truth is wrapped up in love, and it's wrapped up in righteousness." That's what truth is. And it's important to speak that truth. Words are very, very powerful right now. And you have to be very attentive to the words that you're speaking and that you're sharing. And as you do that, you're going to learn, okay, you're going to understand the power in that, because part of the remnant and that light spreading in this earth is going to come by the words that you speak. Okay, it's going to be the truth, by the brightness of His coming, by the words of His mouth, right? The word is sharper than a double-edged sword. So they're very, very powerful because, again, they battle the lies. It all comes down to truth and lies. It's about our mind. And if truth is governing your mind, that's God governing your mind. If lies is governing your mind, Satan, the father of lies, is governing your mind. It really comes down to that simplicity. Okay, the next part of Zechariah. "Give judgment in your gates for truth, justice, and peace." Now, there's a lot of people out there that believe in eternal torment. And I've talked about this in other videos, but that is not of God. It is not of a loving God. It is cruel. It is hideous. It's unbelievable that people would think that. It strips all power from God, that it doesn't make sense because Christ destroys death. So that's saying that death is continuing on forever. It gives no power to what Christ did. It basically negates every reason why Jesus came and all that He taught us, because that is why He died, to save us from abiding in sin forever. And that's why He's destroying death. Sin is like a disease. It's like a cancer. You're born into it. It's not something that you choose. It's just a part of being born into this pit. And that is what Christ did. He came and infused His Spirit of life into this darkness, this pit, this death, this disgusting place, according to a Spirit that is so pure and holy because of His love for us. And He infused it with His light, and that light is going to spread to all men like death spread to all men. And so there's so many things that are wrong with that doctrine. And the outer darkness that he was talking about is what's happening in these coming days. It's where a lot of people have been living. It's living in the lies. It's under the rule of that. You see that death all around you. We haven't lived in life. We call this life, but this is really death. Okay, so you've got to understand these bigger concepts and what's going on, because if you're holding on to that, that's a false image of God. That is not who He is. And your judgment that you're giving is you're condemning people to eternal torment. That's your belief. And that is not what you read at all that God desires. He desires mercy. He desires peace. And the justice comes because he gave it. That's the whole point of Christ's Spirit, is that he gave that righteousness that fills us, that takes over, so that all are made righteous, all are made holy, each in their own time. Now, so death isn't going to continue. What's going to be left of spirits that have nothing but just sin in them? I don't know. Okay, because we haven't been there before. I haven't experienced that yet. But death is not going to continue on. It's all destroyed. Life, God is going to be all in all, and God is righteous, and God is holy, and God is love. Okay. Let none of you think evil in your heart against your neighbor. Again, that ties right in again with that concept and that judging concept and that condemnation. And do not love a false oath, a false witness, a false lie. For all these are things that I hate, says the Lord. If you believe these doctrines, I know they've been taught, they're so ingrained in religion, and a lot of people are afraid that somehow they're going against God if they don't believe in these torturous doctrines. I would strongly encourage that you just say, you know what, God, I don't know. I want to be taught by you the truth. Because if you really go in to be seeked and taught by God, you will see that that is not true, but it is demonic. In verse 19 of Zechariah, and again, this is what the instructions for the remnant that he's doing. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the fast of the 4th month, the fast of the 5th, the fast of the 7th, and the fast of the 10th shall be joy and gladness and cheerful feast for the house of Judah. Therefore, love truth and peace. Love peace. Be a peacemaker. Do not be one that is causing division and condemnation and all those other things. Be a peacemaker, for that's what we are called to be. And those who are peacemakers and speak peace are the sons of God. Okay? And then I want to read one more verse to you. Zechariah 9 and 10. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king is coming to you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey. This is showing when God's coming, Christ, he came that first time, right? In that gentle spirit. That's how he's coming again. And that's what you experience as you start receiving his spirit. It's gentle, but it is so powerful because it's true power and it's life. And it's tremendous. But that's how he's coming again. That's why he's not coming in the way that people expect. People always have their expectations wrong. Expectations can lead you astray. So try to seek the truth without all these images, but let God establish your expectations. I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem. The battle bow shall be cut off. He shall speak peace to the nations. I want you to understand this underlying concept of peace and how important that is. And what we're speaking, what the remnant is speaking, is words of peace, words of light, righteous words, words of love, because that is what's starting to reign. That is what's taking over. All the things of the death, that's what's all being destroyed. Okay? And his dominion shall be from sea to sea, from the river to the ends of the earth. That is what we have not seen yet, right? So you see this is talking about a future time. In that time, we're standing at the door. Why? Because Christ is standing at the door of our spirit saying, hey, I'm knocking. Whoever opens the door, who can hear me, who knows me, who understands this is me and how I'm coming, they're starting to open the door and dine with me. And that's that whole process that I was talking about, being knit to his righteous spirit. Beautiful truths. Please take these to heart and pray over them because they are beautiful. Seek to know and to understand them and to be taught by the teacher, the Christ. Till next time, keep stirring the deep. It's the one thing that changes everything else.